Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am super excited for today's video because it is one that has been highly requested by you guys, probably the most highly requested that I've ever had, just throughout many videos. And today I'm going to be showing you how I use eyeshadow as nail polish. I will forewarn you that I feel like the way that I do it is probably a little bit different than most people do, and the way I do it is probably like considered lazier and maybe a little bit more messy, but it works really well for me, and I have fallen in love with using my eyeshadow as nail polish. I love painting my nails and always have, but I feel like using eyeshadow as nail polish has really just expanded my, I don't want to say collection, it's expanded my variety of shades that I can do like tenfold. So if you guys are interested in how I personally use my eyeshadow as nail polish, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project planning content or just chit-chatting about makeup, I'd love if you'd consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. Okay, ignore my hair. I don't know what is going on with it, but that's okay. I really do. I feel like I've been promising this video for literal months at this point, so I want to get this up. I have already filmed the actual process of me doing my nails, and it's so like quick and easy, you guys. I hope I did a good job of explaining it, but I wanted to just pop on quickly before we jump into that to share just a few tips and tricks, because I will say the first few times that I tried this technique, it did not work that great for me, and I was like, okay, this is not for me. But then like I kept doing it and now I literally can't stop. So the first thing that I noticed for myself is using a brush, like an actual, like, let me pull out and show you. If I do use a brush, I usually use something super dense like this. This is an old like brush that came, dual-sided brush that came with a Sigma palette. Like I've used, if I'm using a brush, this is what I use. I personally have found things apply much better and I get a lot more longevity if I just, essentially like I'm going in to swatch a shade with my finger. I just go in with my finger and literally just brush it onto my nail, as you'll see in the demo. I personally have found that that has worked best for me. I've also found, so you need a base to lay down before you put your eyeshadow on, and I really like to like peruse through my collection, and if I'm doing like a purple, I try and find like a light purple base. If I'm doing a pink, I try and find a pink, or I try and find a nail polish similar, like a lighter version but similar to the nail polish that I'm wanting to use, just to really help that eyeshadow pop a little bit more. And then I go in with like a clear top coat. Again, you'll see that in the demo. Okay, and then my last tip and trick before we get into the actual demo is do not be discouraged if you are not loving. There's two things to not be discouraged by. When you are doing this process, it looks really messy on your nails, and I will say don't be discouraged right away. Wait until like you wash your hands after your nails have dried, before you like can really grasp what it's gonna look like, because it can look really messy, or it gets really messy and it's like, this is not gonna look cute. So just be patient with the process. And then my second tip slash trick is not every eyeshadow is going to make a great nail polish, and it really does take trial and error. Personally, I have started to do like a test nail before I fully commit to an eyeshadow, just because there's certain eyeshadows I've been super excited about that I think are gonna make a great nail polish, and then I get it on my nails and I'm like, I actually don't like this at all. But also know that sometimes like having like 2 or 3 layers, like you may not like the first layer, but you might like 2 or 3 layers later. So like do a test nail to completion, like do the full process, whether that be 2, 3. 3 is the most amount of layers I've ever done. Usually I do 2, occasionally I'll do 3. So not every nail polish, not every eyeshadow is going to make a great nail polish. I have found I've had the best luck with a really smooth metallic eyeshadow. The one that I have on my nails today is from the Adept Heather Austin palette. This is the one I'm using in the demo. It's the shade Passport. So something that is like really, really metallic, but also like quite a smooth formula. There's that one swatched. I've also had really good luck with some of these shades, some of the metallic shades from the Glamlight Ice Cream Dream palette. Again, like a very metallic formula, but very, very smooth. There's a shade swatched from the Glam Light Ice Cream Dream. One more example of a shade that I really enjoyed was from the What's Up Beauty Desert Monsoon. The shade Downpour, so beautiful. Again, just a really, really smooth yet metallic formula, so pretty. But there have been specific shades I think are going to make just an absolutely stunning nail polish that just haven't worked out. And I do want to shout out a couple of those shades have been from like the Odin's Eye Merry Christmas palette. There's been 2 shades, and I don't know if it's because it's like a chunkier, more textured shade, but I tried to use the shade Bless and then also the shade All Right. And I think All Right, partially I'm like an orange nail, it just wasn't the way to go. But this definitely is a little bit chunkier in texture. I don't know if you'll be able to see, like when I swatch it on my finger, it isn't totally smooth. There's like texture to the shadow. Like when I swatch this out, it does get smooth, but it takes a little bit of like rubbing back and forth, whereas the other examples I swatched for you are just like smooth right away. And I found when it's a little bit textured and a little bit chunkier, it doesn't grip to the nail as well, which makes it really difficult to get like an even coating of the shade. Those are just a few tips and tricks. Again, it takes some experimenting. It took me a solid like 4 or 5 times before I was like, okay, I want to like keep trying this. So don't give up, be patient with the process, but it can be really, really fun when you find like a technique and shades that really work for you. So if you personally have used eyeshadow as nail polish and have other tips and tricks, let us know in the comments below. And if you guys watch this video and then go try using eyeshadow as nail polish, I want to know what palette, what shade, like what did you do? Let me know in the comments. But other than that, let's jump into the demo. Okay, I hope that you guys can see this filming setup's like so awkward. Part of the reason I put this video off for so long is because I worry about how to set up the filming. But today I have selected this shade out of the Adept Heather Austin palette. This is in the shade Passport. I will swatch it on my hand for you guys. I will just like swatch shades in palettes of mine and just like anything that seems interesting to me, I'll set aside. Not all eyeshadow shades work like you want them to work for nail polish. I'm gonna warn you of that, but that is what that swatch looks like. I did test it on my thumb right here just to make sure I liked the way that it looked. I do usually test it on like my thumb because like I said, there has been times that I think something's gonna be beautiful and then I really hate the way it looks. So I don't have nail polish on any of my nails. I have like taken everything off. There's some remnants still here of like a little bit of my previous color, but that's okay. I don't care. So I do always lay down a base, and you could do a base coat, but I like to choose a nail polish in my collection that's kind of similar-ish to the eyeshadow that I'm using. So today I am using the Essie nail polish in the shade Wet Suited Up as my base, and I'm literally just gonna paint one coat on each of my nails. Okay, so now I have a layer of that polish on each nail. I have let it dry a little bit so it's still tacky but not like super wet. And I know a lot of people go in with a brush when they're using a shadow as a nail polish, but I've actually just found that it works best and I get like the most pigment / the most coating if I just use my fingers. So I literally just go in. I feel like that's going to just, I literally just go in like so, and then like swipe it on, oops, there we go, swipe it. And it gets super messy like around my actual nail, but that's okay because it washes off. And then I just keep going in, and it's almost like I'm swatching the shadow on my actual nail. And I just keep going. Sometimes I find that I need to like actually tap like this, and then other times certain shadows look better if I like drag my finger like that. And I've found that the shadows that work best as a polish for me are ones that are like super metallic and super intense. So once I have that layer on, I literally just go in then with a clear top coat. My clear top coat looks to be like a little bit purple right now, just because the last one that I did, or the last nail polish eyeshadow shade that I used as a nail polish, was a purple, but it doesn't actually make a difference in the actual coating of the nail. So I literally just go ahead and put that top coat on. I have found there's times where I'll put a nail polish on and it almost looks a little bit dull on my nails, but then when I go on with the top coat, it ends up looking a lot better. Sometimes that's not the case. That's why I always do a test nail. Okay. And then after I've put the top coat on, there's what it's looking like. Then I go in, while that's drying, I go in and do the other hand. I do find sometimes I have issues like on the sides where I don't get enough of the actual eyeshadow. So it ends up looking, I don't want to say, is patchy the right word? Like, it just looks like I'm missing polish in a place. So I really try and make sure to like work it on the sides as well. And again, it's so messy around my fingers, but we will wash our hands as one of the final steps. Okay, so I put everything on this hand, then I'm gonna go in and add the top coat. Okay, so I've now added the top coat to this hand. I always do minimum 2 layers, sometimes even 3. So now as that dries, I'm gonna go back in, and I only did 1 layer on my thumb, so I'll do my second layer on my thumb now. And we're gonna do the second layer on this hand. I feel like this shade specifically will only need 2 layers. This does not look like one that will be needing a third. Obviously, like, it makes my desk very messy too. Like, this is messy, but that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and add another coat to the top then. And then again, going in with coat number 2 on my other hand. I really, really like the way that this shade is looking. It makes me want to look at the rest of my Adept shadows and see what else I can come up with for fun nail polish colors. I feel like this is like one of my like go-to, just like I love shades like this for nail polish. Even like before I started using nail polish as or eyeshadow as nail polish, I loved like a shade like this Essie polish. So this is right up my alley, and I'm not sure when I'll be posting this video, but I'm filming this like halfway through August. So I feel like this is still like an appropriate nail for the summer. And I know like it kind of feels like it's like, is mid-August still summer? Yes, in my books, but it also is like starting to, you know, we're getting close to fall, so. Okay, so there is the second coat there. So I have 2 coats on. I don't feel like this is gonna need a second or a third coat at all. So I'm gonna let this dry for probably about 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna wash my hands off and I will show you guys the final result. All right, you guys, it is a few days later that I am filming. Like, I filmed the actual demo before I filmed the intro or outro, but this is the final result. I hope you'll be able to kind of see, and maybe I'll take a picture of them. I'm like, can I even get a good picture? Maybe I'll take a picture of them so you guys can kind of see. I really, really, really love the way that this shade turned out. I think it is absolutely beautiful. I do have already a little bit of chipping. I always have chipped nail polish, I swear. I will say, I actually feel like eyeshadow as nail polish lasts longer for me than like actual nail polish, but I'm really happy with this. I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. I hope what I said, or I hope the demo made sense. If not, let a girl know, and maybe I can, you know, try a round 2 of filming this. But that is how I use eyeshadow as nail polish. Again, if you have done this before, I want to know your tips and tricks in the comments below. What shades are your favorite? And if you watch this video and then go try this, let me know what eyeshadow you used. Other than that, thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting my channel as you guys always do. I appreciate you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.